Hi, everybody. The Last Lady of Songs interviews tonight. And guess who I'm interviewing? Sonia Oyola. Sonia Oyola. How do you pronounce it again?
Don't make me laugh already. Oyola.
Oyola. That was the Lola.
Oyola.
Oyola. It's almost like doing a blowjob,
Oyola.
Sonia.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Marta. Oyola.
Oyola.
Just like
Sonia
Loyola, but without the
Oyola.
L. Just like
Well,
Loyola, but without the L.
When I made up that song,
Uh-huh.
your name rhymed if I went Oyola. Sonia Oyola. It
What was that
rhymed. So
song
that's
again?
how
You're gonna have to sing it at some point.
Yeah.
The song that you made up.
So Sonia is kind of a
Yes.
new friend of mine through Zoom, basically, through all the Zoom piano bars, etc. And she's such a nice person. I don't know why she came with me because I ain't, but that's beside the point. She's so nice. And she's got an interesting life, really, to me, because I'm just an old whatever. And we're going to talk about it. I was thinking of doing this live, but I chose not to. So next time we'll do live and I'll let them into chat and they can ask questions. How's that? Does that sound good?
That would be so fun.
And I didn't put down if you want any questions to ask because most of your friends know it anyway. So that's okay. We're trying to get you out to new people. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So Sonia sings, but that's not all she does. What kind of a medical person? She's a medical person, but I don't quite know what you do. So enlighten me.
Yes. It would be my pleasure.
Thanks.
I am a family medicine doctor.
And what does that mean?
Well, a family medicine doctor is a primary care doctor that is able to really take care of the entire family from birth to very older age. And that kind of doctor is focused in preventative medicine. Preventative medicine, but can also help someone who has an acute problem or a chronic condition like diabetes, hypertension. Preventative medicine under that category would be everything from screening for colon cancer, cervical cancer, prostate cancer, and also vaccinations. Lifestyle medicine, counseling people on diet and exercise, and just stress management. It's a doc who basically it's that doc that you can think of from the 40s that had that bag with the stethoscope and all of their little supplies that could go to people's homes and take care of the whole family when they walked in. And there are a fair number of us. There's only about 90,000 of us in the U.S. And that's one for every 3,000 or so residents of the U.S.
I'm glad you said that. When I moved to Florida, I was looking for a primary,
Yes.
And I ran into this family medicine stuff. And I read about it, but I didn't quite know what it meant. I got the idea, but you're actually a primary, but you just service the whole family.
The whole family. The whole family.
Yeah.
I take care of I work with the whole family. That's right. And so we're trained in prenatal care. We're trained in being able to deliver a baby. Some family medicine doctors even perform C-sections and appendectomies, depending on the area of the country where there's the greatest need for those kinds of surgical procedures. Those residency programs in that state will train you to do super full scope care. But that's a family medicine doctor basically is able to morph into whatever somebody needs or community needs. So
it's kind of neat. So do you make house calls?
Yes, I do.
You do. I bet you do.
I do.
I bet you do.
I have all my patients that are 80 and older, or have a difficult time getting around because of any physical challenges. I'll make house calls for sure. I'll go to their houses and sit there, and I'll take their blood pressure. I'll ask them how they're feeling, and then will only have to go in for a laboratory test, for example. So yeah, I love house calls. Actually, I love home visits. They're called home visits now. They used
Oh,
to be called house calls back in
sorry.
the day, but it's the same. It's a home visit, and you get to know a patient and a family so well when you actually, visit their home, of course.
That's true. So you can get prescriptions and everything, right?
Yes,
So
yes, I
you're
write
like a real
prescriptions.
doctor.
I'm like a real doctor. I'm like a real doctor. I'm a medical doctor. I got a degree. I'm an MD.
And so where'd you go to school? Or wait, let's
University.
do it this way. How long have you been doing this?
Oh gosh, I started medical school in 1993,
Oh, that's late.
and
I mean,
I started my residency at Cook County Hospital in 1997.
ooh,
So
Cook
that means
County.
that
For people that don't live in Chicago, I don't know about New Cook County. What do they call it? Stroger?
Stroger.
Old Cook County could have been a nightmare for some people, right? I mean, really, it could
It
have been.
wasn't easy.
No,
It wasn't.
it's a
Yeah.
county hospital.
Very complex, lots of need, a lot of care, a lot of patients there waiting to be attended to. So the waiting time is pretty lengthy, unfortunately.
And it was old. The actual hospital
The
was
actual
old.
structure was older. It was when I was training. It was already the old hospital. So it was yeah. It's very different than hospitals are today, where they're designed with private rooms. And I remember back when I was training as a family medicine doctor at Cook County, on Ward 31, we just had curtains in between each patient. So whenever I was taking a history from one patient, the patient next door would say, like, would try to answer. So not a lot of privacy,
And if
for
somebody
sure.
farted on the other side, are you all right?
No, seriously,
Okay.
I'd ask a question and
Listen.
somebody on the other side would say, like, I don't think so.
Yeah. It hurts. Yeah, okay.
It hurts me too.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
were you born in Chicago?
No, I was born in Santa Marta, Colombia. I was born in South America, and I
Okay.
immigrated to the States when I was a little girl. I was about 3 when
But into Chicago, or did you go somewhere else
to
first?
Chicago,
Oh, so
to
you're
Chicago,
basically a Chicagoan
for sure, for
for
sure. I've
sure.
been here for 49 years. 49
Yes. I
years.
knew your mom was from Colombia. I knew that. She brought
Yes.
coffee with her. Anyway,
Oh, yes. My
that's all we
dad
drink.
came first. My
Uh-huh.
dad did come first, and he spent a year here getting a home established, a
Sure.
job, raising,
Sure.
earning a little money, saving some money. And he found an apartment on the west side of Chicago. And
Mm,
when it was time, he asked us to meet him, join him, and we did.
that's
That was
cool.
1972 or 3.
That sounds like the Europeans, like after World War One and World War Two, before World War Two,
Mm-hmm.
they would send a member like their father or their grandfather or something over to
Mm-hmm.
establish and either get a job or open up whatever, and then call for all the rest of them. If they could, in those days, they could come if they had, I guess, family or I don't know, something. I'm not sure of the laws, but that sounds so familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Mm-hmm.
now really, although now, I don't know. I'm not even going to get into that, but,
Complex.
yeah, I'm not, but, that does sound familiar to a lot of people's families that I know, including my own, years ago.
Absolutely.
So, oh yeah. Because I've seen pictures of your mom. I don't remember if I saw one of your dad. Did I? I must have. Did I? Do
I think so.
you have
Yeah,
a
for
picture of your
sure.
mom?
Sure.
Put up mom. She's sharing this time, kids, because she knows how to do it, and I still don't quite know.
Let's see. Well, the one of mom and I that's most recent, I'll share here with everybody. That's my mama.
Isn't she cute?
She is.
She is. She really is. She's adorable.
That's my mama.
And this is recent.
Yes, this
Yes.
was maybe about 2 years ago now.
Oh, that's great. Look at
Yeah,
that.
she was
Sonia
80.
Oyola.
We're both Sonia, actually. My mom
Oh,
is Sonia and I'm Sonia. She's
oh,
Sonia Eloisa and I'm
uh-huh.
Sonia Patricia.
Aparicio. Sounds like Louis Aparicio. He used to play for the Sox. You wouldn't remember that, I'm sure. I am old.
So.
I am old. Well, oh, she's beautiful. You're lucky to have her. You're lucky to have her.
I'm so lucky, so lucky, so
You
blessed.
really are. You're very lucky to have her. I lost my mom at 64. She was no, I wasn't. She was 64. And as you get older, people go, my mother just died, blah, blah, blah. You were lucky to have her that long. You know, some of the people where the mothers are like 100. You know what I mean? So that's beautiful. Okay, so you you lived on the West Side, you went to school, and you did, what made you decide to become a doctor?
Well, as an immigrant here in the U.S., I had to really help my folks find their way and navigate the system. I learned English like that. You know, by the time I was 5, I was fluent. My folks, of course, are still learning English. And so I became their translator in every way, in every setting, the grocery store, at the doctor's office. And honestly, I think it was there at the doctor's office that I started to notice, you know, how much my parents needed that and how kind the doctors were with my mom and dad. And I was really deeply moved by that. They needed a lot of support. And I think those were one of the first people here in the US to support them and help them out help us out as a family. And then when I went to Colombia when I was 9, my grandmother was dying of cancer. And then I got to see my uncle and live with my uncle for a little bit while my dad was taking care of his mother. And my uncle's a cardiologist, and he would take me to his office, and I'd hang out there, just wait for him, really. But I noticed how he was with people. They'd bring him like chickens and eggs and all kinds of food to exchange for their care. And I thought, I'd never be hungry. And people really, I love the relationship. I love the kind of intimacy and care and kindness between my uncle and his patients. So I came back to the U.S. I said, I want to be a doctor when I grow up.
And you did. And you did. That's great. That's a great story. Because now, if you were in the same situation, they'd bring you drugs and you know, whatever.
Oh no, my patients still bring me food. I promise
that's good.
you.
That's
they
good.
still bring me now, but it's like instead of chickens, it's cake.
Cake. Tell me what
cake,
lobster. Screw
pies,
the cake.
Donuts. This week I think it was donuts this week.
Tell me you want some
really
lobsters
sweet.
or something. You know what I mean? I really.
Filet mignon.
Yeah. Or at least a sirloin, you know,
something.
something. So do you work out of the hospital or do you have an office?
I work in a clinic, a community health center. It's a federally qualified health center. So these kinds of health centers are centers that will accept all patients irrespective of their ability to pay and irrespective of their insurance status. So I work at a clinic called Heartland Health Centers, and in Rogers Park here in Chicago. Very diverse community, 80 different languages spoken.
Yes.
So I see a lot of patients that are newly immigrated to the country or seeking asylumship or refugee health, because we're a part of a larger organization called the Heartland Alliance. That's a nonprofit that strives toward, whose mission is to support newly immigrated peoples here in the U.S. And well, they're trying to reduce poverty.
As I said earlier, I just met you recently and basically through Zoom. And that's why I'm asking you all that. I really don't know your background, and this is an interview. Okay, fine. But I still think that you're one of the nicest and kindest people that I've ever met. And this is just through Zoom. I can tell. I'm good with people. I'm old and been around. And you are so kind and so thoughtful. And I bet you don't say a bad word about anybody. And if you do it, nobody hears it but you. You know, after something happens, you go, you know, but I'm not going to say anything. Yeah. Because so when I mean, other people that know you might know all this. This is like new. and hopefully everyone else will see it to see. Of course, they can't come to you because they don't live in Chicago, a lot of them, but I don't either, because I'd probably come to you anyway. I'd come from where did I live? Sandburg, and just come down and say, you're my doc, you know, 'cause I would know that you would care. It's true. I mean, I found one here on the East Coast that Ronnie and I both like. She's kind of like you are. She's got a very small office. It's not a group. She's honest. If you think you have this, she goes, are you sniffling? No, then you don't. You know, I'm being, you know. Yeah. And
she tells you how it is.
Yeah, she does.
Tells it to you straight.
Yes. And because she's not in a great big group, you know, it's her and another guy or somebody there. And these girls, you know, and it's nice because she goes, are you going to do this? And I'll go, no. Okay. And she lets it go. She doesn't sit and you have to do that. I said, you know,
Sure.
So I said, you know, well, whatever. But we were lucky that we found her here because in the Palm Beach area, some of the docs are really bad, Sonia. I mean, well, they do this and they send you here and they send you there and they send you there and they send you here. And it's like these old people, some of them have to get rides. I mean, I'm old, but thank God I'm still driving and we can walk and do high kicks and shit, you know. That's my only thing. I have to do a high kick.
I love that you can do high kicks. That's awesome. I want to do a high kick.
I can bend down and touch the floor. So I had a doc on the other side, and this doc, they asked me something about my back. And I went down and touched the floor. I said, that doesn't bother me. And they both went, you could do that? I said, yeah.
That's great.
They both said that. Yes, I could do that. Anyway, okay, so now we have Sonia in school and she graduates. So when did you meet your husband?
In school, medical school.
Was he a medical guy too?
He's an anesthesiologist.
Ooh, he could put you to sleep.
Correct.
Yes. And he was a resident too, or you met him what?
In med school, medical school.
Medical school.
We met in med school in 1993. We got married in 1997.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. You both got to get finished, right?
Yes. We both graduated. But pretty much it was right after we graduated that we got married. So it was just a whirlwind, you know, we just graduated, got married, and then started our residency programs. And we didn't even have, I think, time to even blink or go to a proper honeymoon.
But did you get a double present? One for graduating and one for marrying?
I don't even think we got a double present. I think people were just waiting on the wedding. They're like, we'll give them something then.
Yeah, like another piece of cake, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I got married so many times, I don't buy me anything. I'm embarrassed. Okay, fine. So.
Don't bring me any presents. I'm embarrassed. It's true. I love it. Yeah. No, we did, and then we started having our family. We started having a family like really while I was a resident. I was pregnant. I think most of my residency. I got pregnant that second year and my third year.
Ooh, happy times at home.
We were trying to be really productive.
Yeah.
Well,
do you have an hour? Yeah.
Something like that. Well, part of it was that, you know, my husband's about 7 years older. And so his biological clock was ticking. Mine was not. I was like, I'm young. Well, I have some time. And he was like, I don't want to be a I don't want to have a kid now. And I was like, oh, okay. But so the stories of my pregnancies, I was actually pregnant with twins in 98 and I had them in 99. They didn't make it.
I'm sorry.
No, thanks. It was a very complicated pregnancy and they didn't make it. So I delivered them and they were about 25 weeks. And they were both, one of them had passed away and the other one was about to.
Sorry.
And the other, but then I got pregnant that same year in '99, and I had my daughter Simone in 2000. And then I had Max in 2002 and Sophie in 2004.
Girlfriend kept you pregnant, and but not in the kitchen, in the hospital, you know.
I always, the running joke is that I was either pregnant or lactating from 1998 till 2005.
My goodness. Well, at least you didn't have to buy milk. That was good. Here,
I
you want
did
some
not.
coffee?
Hey, don't joke. You can
Ah.
sell that stuff now. People want that.
Yeah,
You
I
can go
know.
on. I think you could go on Amazon and get it.
There you go. And you pay more if you want to watch me do it, you know.
Hilarious. Oh my gosh, a whole lot more.
I'll send you a video, but it's, $6,000. Okay, that'll put me through. Oops. That was like a little hoo-ha that went, watch.
Oh my gosh. I was going to show you a picture of the kids when they were little, if I can find it. Picture of Tim. Oh, here's the picture of kids and I when they were little people. This is when they were little people.
Oh, there's
This
three
is
of there's
Simone.
three of them.
There's three of them. There's three.
Tree. 1, 2, 3.
There's three. That's Simone,
Mm-hmm.
and this is Max,
Mm-hmm.
and this is Sophie.
She's cute. She kind of looks like your mother.
She does.
She does, doesn't she?
Mhm.
I mean, she's a child, but she does. She resembles her.
Yeah, she's got that little slanty eye.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
They're cute.
We all have the slanty eye and the dimples. Dimples are strong in our family. Dimples are strong in our family.
Only in the face.
Well, I don't know if your viewers want to know me like that.
We want to know every interview, Sonia Oyola.
I don't think your viewers want to know me like that.
My goodness. Well,
Oh.
if you can't laugh, what the hell? You gotta laugh.
Oh, I've been laughing too much for all of my life.
Well,
But,
that kept me alive because I laugh
yeah.
at everything
Oh.
and everyone, including myself.
Mhm,
And we laugh and we go here and we laugh and go that. What the hell?
mhm.
All right. So now you have 6,000 kids. Lots of
You
milk.
counted them up, 1, 2, 3.
You could,
4.
you could actually nurse puppies. Okay. and you're working the two of yous, the two of
Yes,
yous.
the two of us.
Well, yous guys,
These
Yeah.
guys.
I'm from Chicago, remember? Yous guys. Okay.
These guys.
So, so you move and you're in your own house
Mhm, mhm.
and
Yes.
and you're working. So
Yep.
when did you start singing?
Oh my gosh, I started singing when I was a little person. I mean, I think I was probably. My mom says that by the time I was when I was 2, this is me as a little
God, are you
person with my
cute?
mom.
You were really cute.
The dimples are strong.
Yes, they are. When you
Yes,
lay down, you can put salt in them and eat celery,
for sure. But my mom says that by the time I was 2, 3, I could sing pretty much. I was a mimicker. I could mimic people pretty well, and so it was a novelty to have people come over and hear me kind of singing just like whoever on the radio. So I could sing the top songs on the radio, and
Mhm.
people would laugh because there's this like little person who sounds just like Celia Cruz, or sounds like we're mimicking her in this way,
I
and
know
they
who
would
Celia
laugh.
Cruz is.
I mean,
She was great.
that's great, and just so unique. And so I would listen to these unique voices, and I could like really copy them when I was a little kid. And I loved to sing. I sang all the time, and yeah. Hmm.
That's funny because a lot of singers, well, not all of them, but had started when they were kids, just
Mm-hmm.
singing. My mother used to teach me songs. when I was like 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
A, You're Adorable, and Golden Earrings. That was her favorite song, you know.
Oh,
And I- and then
I love that song.
you'd sing like in church or something, you know, as a kid, and that's how it starts. But
Mm-hmm.
some people quit, and they should, because that's not their passion.
Mm-hmm.
See, is this your
Mm-hmm.
passion? Your other passion besides medical?
I would say yes. I would say it's my balm. I would say it's the thing that when I feel sad or irritated or if I'm in pain or I feel lonely or I feel a little burnt out, disconnected, I as soon as I sing, I feel so healed. I feel so whole. I feel like I finally get a little freedom, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
it's interesting because I'm pretty. It's not that I'm very shy. I'm very social. I love people. I love hugging people, being around people. I love, and but I'm pretty introverted in many ways. Like I keep to myself in some ways, and I'm a little huddled, you know, just kind of keep it to myself. But then when I start to sing, I feel like a completely different human being.
It's
I
like
don't even know where I go. And
people that drink. I happen to have been married to one that was kind of introverted, and the minute he had a few pops in him, it was funny, and he talked louder
ta-da!
and blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah, you know.
yeah, yeah.
But it,
When I start to sing, I feel so alive and so different, free. And then the song stops, and I say, "Where did I? Hi, everybody. Where did I go?" Like I almost feel like I wasn't there, but I was, and it's really fascinating. Yeah.
okay, so who's your favorite singer or vocalist? No, I'm not talking about people we know at this point. I'm talking about
Mm.
real people. I'm
You
talking
like
about,
artists,
yeah, real
different
artists.
artists?
Yes.
Well, I do love Celia Cruz so much. I love her because she was a revolutionary in many ways, and that she, you know, she during a time where I think women in particular, and still today, can be quite exploited for their looks and their body, and they feel compelled. And no judgment. You do what you want to do. You show what you want to show. You have the freedom to show whatever you want to show to anybody. That's perfectly fine. But to feel compelled to do that in order to be an artist and to be recognized, I think is a huge pressure on women. But Celia Cruz was like, I don't need to show you anything.
No.
You just need to hear me.
Well, let's
And
face
I
it.
just think that that's extraordinary to have that kind of strength and
Not only that, she wasn't
wherewithal.
the prettiest woman living, Celia.
Mm.
She really wasn't. She was kind of horsey looking in her stature and her face, but you didn't care.
You didn't care.
You didn't care because
No.
the bitch could sing, and she had a personality, and it
Yes.
came out, and she was an
Yes.
entertainer in her own
Yes.
genre.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean?
Yes.
She was fabulous. You know, there
She
was a
was so
PBS
fabulous.
thing on her, I think. I think it was PBS, where they
Mm-hmm.
did an hour or so on her life.
Mm-hmm.
And she was alive. I think she was still alive at that
Mm-hmm.
time. And they took her from, you know, being a child up and through her life and where she was now. And of course, she never spoke English hardly.
Mm-hmm.
She kept to Spanish, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really interesting to watch that life
Mm-hmm.
evolve. And
Mm-hmm.
she ended up being, she was fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
She really was.
Absolutely.
And it just shows to go you don't have to have tits that come out to here that
Mm-hmm.
show, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to be pretty.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go to
Mm-hmm.
plastic surgery, basically.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got it, you've got it, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
she had it, man.
She
She
had it
really
all.
did.
She
She
had it
did.
all.
So
Mm-hmm.
who? So okay. So
I
that was
love
your
her.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. And I've looked her up on YouTube here and there because I think about her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she was one of a kind.
She was.
She
She
really
was.
was. She had a big voice. and she sang those songs. And even though I don't know anything about
And she
Spanish,
moved, she
I
danced.
didn't
I think
care.
that's what I love. You didn't care for 1 second.
No,
For 1 second, you understood her because really, I think what you understood was her joy, her passion,
yes,
her connection to the music. You didn't even need to know one single word to understand one word she was
that's
saying.
right. That's right.
You were so drawn to her power and her passion, and I love, I particularly love singers that dance when they sing because I love to dance. I wish sometimes when I close my eyes, I think, oh, I would have loved to be a dancer. Ballet was something that I loved so much when I was a kid. I didn't take a whole lot of lessons. I took maybe one or two at Malcolm X College up the street here on Damon Avenue because we were pretty poor. My parents were both welders. We couldn't afford lessons like that. But I love to dance, and I'm so drawn to that. Artists that can deliver a song and move their body and just feel you could see the connection they have with the music. It's so beautiful.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's called ears.
Mm,
You have ears and you listen to the music
mm,
because yes, you can sing a cappella. Anybody can sing a cappella. Doesn't mean they do it
mm,
good, but they can do it.
mhm,
When you
mhm,
listen to the music,
mhm.
it spurs you on
Yeah.
to sing, and it gives you ideas how this particular person or group is playing or how this particular group is playing. And it
Mhm,
really just runs through your body. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Because it's
mhm.
different.
Yes.
It's different every time you work with anybody live. When you do
Mm,
tracks, it's one thing. But when you
mhm,
work live, you've
mhm,
done it now. You've done it.
mhm,
And not that much, but you've done it. And you've done it with friends of
mhm,
yours.
mhm,
You might work live with someone else one night, and it's going to be very
mhm,
different because they
mhm,
play different. So you
mhm,
need your ears in order to hear what they are
mhm,
doing.
mhm.
And that's the way I feel. It's like we saw Wings with what's his name? Uh, Paul McCartney
Mm,
years
mhm,
ago at Soldier Field. And we got tickets. We ended up in the press rooms there, and
mhm,
we were up, and the stage was right in front of us.
mhm.
And his wife was alive. What was her name? I can't think of her name. So it was old,
Linda.
Linda.
Mhm,
And of course, they had all the fireworks and all the stuff, and he played all the good songs. He
mhm,
loved every minute of that performance. And
mhm.
he's done those songs for years.
Yeah.
People go, I get tired of it. Why? That's your bread and butter. That's, you know what I mean?
Mhm, mhm,
He just
mhm.
had the best time. I
That's
loved it.
amazing.
He still enjoyed it. He gave his all. He just was fabulous. So now
Mhm,
there's a new guy. His name is Lachy, Lachy, but they pronounce it Lachy Doley, Doley.
mm.
He's in Australia. I'm sorry I don't have something up because I would play it a little bit.
Well, let me see if I
He
can find
does
something.
organ. He
Mm.
plays the Hammond B3 or
Okay.
okay. He he does blues, but he really does more R&B kind of stuff and
Okay.
old rock and roll and blues.
Mhm.
He's a monster. They call him the Jimi
Mm.
Hammocks.
Jimi
Wait a minute.
Hendrix.
The Jimi Hendrix of the organ.
Oh
And they
wow.
don't mean his own private organ. They mean the B3. Okay. So,
Ba-dum-bum.
yeah. So he also, I love watching him. He's been doing it for a
Mm,
long time.
mm,
He loves every minute of it. He's so into the music and
mm,
happy and loving it. And I love watching him because of that. Yes, he plays
mm,
good. The music is great, but watching him, you really get into it because he enjoys it. And
mm,
as an entertainer or a singer, as you are, sometimes I see some of these people that just treat some of this stuff as a gig, not as
mm,
their passion. You
mhm,
know what I mean?
mhm,
And that's why I
mhm,
asked you, and I knew it was your passion. And I know it
mhm.
when you sing Spanish stuff. I can tell, you know,
Mhm. Yes.
and you sing it really well. You really, not
Thank
that you
you,
don't sing the
Marta.
other stuff well,
Thank you,
but
Marta.
you do sing the Spanish stuff really well.
Oh, thank you, Marta.
Yeah. I mean, I love listening to you, and so does everybody else,
Aw.
because you're a nice person and
Well,
everyone knows it.
there's something to say about that. You know, my other favorite artist is Stevie Wonder, and I love Stevie Wonder so much because I love just his spirit. I mean, his voice is incredible. His music's incredible. His lyrics are just incredible. But if what really what draws me to him is his spirit. He's so loving and calm and wise and kind. And I think, my goodness, how would you? It informs how he sings. It informs how the music forms and how you feel the music because of his kindness. So I don't know all of his music. It's not like I can list every single song he's ever done, and I'm not that kind of a fan because I don't think I have that kind of a memory. But every time I've heard him, I've felt so inspired, moved, and touched by his music. I love him so much.
That's good. You know, that album, Songs in the Key of Life, was
Yes,
one of the best
that's incredible.
that ever was done. I mean, he had all those good songs on there, because not everybody writes good songs all the time. You know, you just can't do it. And the people remember the old ones that were hits. And that's why a lot of these older groups that don't really record anymore, or they're older, they go out and they tour, because people my age or possibly younger, because I'm old, they go to see them because of those songs, and it's them. You understand what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah, because they liked them, and they go, well, don't you know anything new? Well, why should they? They wouldn't make any money with it today. They're not going to be the Rolling Old Stones, you know, the old Rolling Stones.
The old Rolling Stones.
I mean, really, I never knew how anybody could like Mick Jagger to begin with. He has no rhythm in his feet. Did you ever watch him? His feet go different than the music, but that's beside the point. He also said years ago in an interview when he was like 40 something, I'm not going to be doing rock and roll my whole life. Well, guess what? Mick, that's where you're at. And he doesn't have to. They got a lot of money. I mean, they make money, you know, but that's where he's at.
Yeah.
So, you know, young people go, I'm not going to do that. Well, sometimes you have to.
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes
That's
you
right.
have to do the thing that you're best at. That's okay. Like
Well,
you said, if you've got a hit that everybody loves, it's okay to sing that again. You know, you're making people happy.
that's true.
That's the whole point.
That's
you know?
true.
It's like, oh, I don't want to sing that anymore. Well, that's what the people want you to sing, and who are you singing it for?
That's true. That's true. I mean, I went to see years ago at the Horizon. Remember when the Horizon fell down? When they built it and it fell in? You don't remember that? It fell in. So they had to rebuild it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we went to see Barry Manilow after they rebuilt it. And it's not really a concert place. It's more for sports and stuff. The acoustics suck in there. But we had good music. And all I could think of the whole night was, is it going to stay up? Because he came in right after that. You know,
That's
really,
scary.
it was. But he was really good because he sang all the stuff people wanted to hear. You know, if it's da 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 da, and you know, all that stuff. And it was fun because he did that instead of introducing new stuff at that point, because he had new stuff after that, you know. But you know, like that. Okay, so now you're a doctor, you're a singer.
Well,
You have your kids are in college now, right? Most of them.
two of them.
Most of them, like you got a herd of them.
Well, I just mentioned the practical herd of them. Oh my God. I did just mention almost a herd of them. Oh my goodness.
You went to Colorado? Is that where it was?
Well, my son Max did. My son Max is at the University of Colorado Boulder, and yeah, he's a cutie pie. He's a sweet guy. That's Max right there.
He is cute. What's he studying? What's he studying?
Engineering.
Oh, good.
engineering.
When the
Mhm.
boulders fall, he can put them back up. Oh,
You'll be ready. You'll be ready.
your
That's
kids are
next. Yeah.
cute. I mean, you got a really nice family.
Thanks.
No, you
Yeah,
really
he's
do.
a sweet kid. He's 19. He took a year off, the year that the first year of the pandemic,
Hmm.
2020. He took that year off, and he worked, and yeah, was at home, and I felt really lucky that I had got to have another year with him at home before he went off to college, but he was ready. He was ready to start college and ready to go, and it
Good for
was
him.
so
Good
far
for him.
he's been great. He's been loving it at University of Colorado Boulder. It's such a beautiful place. I think,
Hmm.
yeah, he's the kind of guy who's pretty zen. He's a zen, calm person. He appreciates the nature. He loves hiking. It's perfect for him. Hmm
Did you do that when you were young, or do it now?
you know what? I love to walk and I love to hike. I do love nature so much. But as a kid, we didn't have a whole lot of that in Chicago. I grew up on the west side in the Austin community, so we didn't have a lot of safe spaces to walk anyway. And whenever I remember the first time we ever went to Kittyland, I thought I thought that we had gone to another planet. I thought we had gone to like the like Germany. It was so wild because I'd never seen so much green.
Hmm.
Um, and but I do love it. I do love it so much. And then Simone and Sophie, my girls, they are, Simone is away at college. This is a cute picture of us. It's not the clearest picture of us because my face is kind of squished here. But this is Simone. This is Simone and this is Sophie.
So
And Simone,
Simone is in, how old is she now?
Simone is 21.
And what college is she at?
She goes to Cornell. She goes to
Oh,
Cornell University.
really? That's a nice
Yeah.
one. And what's
Yeah,
she studying?
she's studying fiber science and apparel design. So she wants to be a constructionist. She wants to build costumes for film and television and theater.
Good for
That's
her.
her dream.
Good for
And
her.
Sophie is she's my high school senior, and she goes to a local high school here in Chicago, and she wants to become an oncologist, surgical oncologist.
Really?
So she wants to study cancer. She wants to be
Good.
an MD, PhD, so do clinical work, but also research in cancer.
Good for her. She's
Yeah,
taking after mom and
yeah,
dad.
and we want we want them all to just find their way.
They
Like,
will. They will, because
yeah,
they have nice moms and dads. They will find their way.
yeah.
I mean, I couldn't wait to get out of the house when I was
I
I-
know. My kids
you
are
know,
like, I'm made in the shade.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now your kids are in college. You're
Mhm.
working. Your husband's still
Mhm.
working. No
Mhm.
more children. We got sewn up or something. Okay. Legs crossed. Okay. Don't
No
have
more
time tonight,
children.
hon. No, no.
No more
Okay.
children.
Yeah. So now, how I met you was on
Mhm.
Zoom.
Mhm.
We're doing Zoomies. I call them
That's
Zoomies.
right. Mhm.
And
That's right.
did you know, like, all the guys? I'm going to say the guys right now because I'll do the names later.
Mhm. Mhm.
Before Zoom, you must have.
Yes, I knew Bill, Bob, Sammy, Mark. I knew these musicians definitely before Zoom, and
Mm-hmm.
because I had started taking classes at the Old Town School of Folk Music,
Mm-hmm.
and my first classes were Vocal 1, Vocal 2, Vocal Tech 1, Vocal Tech 2 with a wonderful teacher by the name of Gwen Pippin, and Gwen had all these classes, and every about 6 to 8 weeks, she would put on maybe 3 times a year. She'd put on a show. She'd have us put on pick a couple songs and sing a couple songs for a recital. It ended up being thematic and a lot of fun, so much fun. So Sammy and Bob were very good friends with Gwen, and when she passed away, Sammy and Bob started teaching her classes at Old Town. So that's how we ended up meeting them because of their very generous decision to start teaching those classes. And it really kept the community together, the singing community together,
I've
for them
noticed
to do
that,
that.
like Johnny
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of them took from her.
Mm-hmm.
And so it all went into, started at the old town, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
Mm-hmm.
really.
It really did. It really did. And here I can show you a picture of just kind of the large singing community that we have. There's
Mm-hmm.
Johnny there. There's Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
And there's Joe Piazza, and there's Sammy,
Sammy.
obviously Bob,
Mm-hmm.
and there's Fia right there. She's really kind of really been the glue keeping all of us
Mm-hmm.
kind of together. And there's Patrick and Maya, Kenny, and Marilena, and Mary. I mean, we're all in there. Bonnie, um, Janet, Marissa, Sylvia. Just a big community of people who have been taking classes together for years and years. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm one of the newbies. I started taking class in 2010. But some of these folks have been taking classes for over 20 years together at Old Town, one class or another.
Mm-hmm.
And very, very, very special community because it's not a competitive community. A lot of times when you come together as a, and I don't know that world of being a professional musician, a professional singer. But we're all amateur singers who have a deep passion for singing. We've all come to it in different ways. We've all come to appreciate and love how we feel when we sing, but we also really love each other very much and support each other in
I
our
know.
singing. We're
I know
not
that.
we're not there to criticize or judge or that's not our role in any way. Our role is to be really uplifters of each other, supporters. So I think that's what's so unique about this community. And during this pandemic, wow, one of the most incredible ways that we've been able to get through day to day with the stress and the fear and the overwhelming feeling of lack of control during this pandemic. We can come back to this home base. It's like a second family for really all of us. It's a second family. We have our own families, but these are the people we can rely on. And like this, you snap your fingers. If any of us needed anything, that person would be right there. That's how we felt for years.
You know,
Yeah.
the only reason I started them was because I knew all these people when I was working in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with them. I had never
Yeah.
worked with Mark, however, and really never worked with Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy, I didn't ever really work with her either. I worked with Bill, but
Mm-hmm.
I knew them well. I used to go out and see them at the clubs,
Mm-hmm.
And I met Sammy when she was working at Carmine's on Rush Street. She was blonde
Wow.
and young, you know, but and it gave me a reason, number one, to see them
Mm-hmm.
and to meet other people
Mm-hmm.
and to sing a little, even though I sound like shit, to sing a little because it is my which got my passion back up again. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
doing that,
Mm-hmm.
and of course I've been there
Wow.
for a while, but I'm busy with this thing, and I'll be back. But it's nice. I could tell that you all were like a group,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of people and
Mm-hmm.
support each other. I could tell that too, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell me something. Which one do you like the best, and which one do you not like the best?
I'm like a mama. I love them all equally.
I knew you were gonna say that. I told my roommate I'm gonna bust her, and she's gonna say I like them all the same.
I'm like a mama. I love them all. I love them all. I love them all. I love every single one of my singing family members because I think, first of all, every single one is so different. So, it's sort of like trying to pick the the flower, or I don't even know if that's the right analogy, but they're each incomparable, right? They're each unique beings with unique voices, unique tones,
Yeah, but what about the
expressions.
players? Now, the piano, there's Bill, Bob,
Oh, you're meaning which
Sammy,
one
and
do I
Mark.
like to
Now,
sing
which
with?
one do you like the best and which one do you think sucks? Yeah, to sing with.
You're not
You're
about
not
to
going to
ask
answer.
me that question. That's hilarious. Well, they're all so different. I mean, with Bob, for example, Bob, he lived in Mexico for so long that he has this huge Spanish repertoire. And if I think of some old song from the 40s, the Trio Los Panchos, my goodness, that man plays it right away. So it's just like, wow, the Spanish music is amazing. So I love that. But Sammy will play everything and anything. I mean, you could tell her some more like anything from jazz to blues to Latin. I mean, the woman just can play anything, which is an unbelievable especially for an amateur singer who was like, it's like a kid in a candy store. All these songs are all so pretty, and you're like, oh, which one do I want to sing? Sammy, can you play this one? And she's like, sure. And she just starts playing it. It's crazy. I've never met anybody like that. Bill is so like technically precise, like he'll tell you right away if you're off, if your pitch is off, if you're and he has such deep respect for chords and chord progression and how songs move, and he has an incredible ear. So, and then Mark he's I think really a great vocal teacher in many ways because he comes from a place of working with choirs for so long, and he still plays for a big choir on the south side of Chicago. And so they're all so they are all so different, and I've learned very, very different things from each one of them. So there's just no way for me to say which one
I'm so
I
glad
want.
you did that because when Ronnie's my roommate, and I said, I'm going to bust her, and I'm going to ask her about which one she likes, meeting the players. And we both said she should say they're all different. And you did. Of course, you wouldn't tell me if you didn't like one. I know that. At least not on this interview.
I'll tell you later.
Or have a favorite, But
Tell you later.
you got all the things right. You did. They're all
Yeah,
different.
they're
They
all so
are.
different.
That's
They're
why,
so
like,
special.
some players I really, let me say it, I wouldn't work with because they're not good for me. They're great players, but they aren't good for what I do.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Or a
Right.
drummer or, whatever. Because
Yeah.
Bill used to play bass on the gigs we were at. Dong, dong, dong. And I mean, I know him for years. Fucking
That's
years.
amazing.
I know everybody for years, unfortunately. But so that was a great answer because it was actually the right one. You pass.
Good.
Your professor, Marn, says you pass. The last lady of Sleaze
I
says
got
you
an
pass.
A. I got an A from
Yes, you
the
did. Yes, you
professor.
did. Because
But I mean it though. I mean it in all sincerity. That's why I love singing with all four of them so much, and every time it's so special.
it's
I'm
tough
very
on
lucky.
Zoom.
Very lucky.
It's
It
tough.
is. It is.
What's her name? Nicole Lesniak? Or what's her name?
Noelle.
Noelle.
Mhm.
Sorry, Noelle. Noelle. And I love her. She's great. She sent me a video.
Mhm.
And when I listened back on it, it was
Mm.
terrible.
Mm.
I was flat. I sounded terrible. It's hard for me standing by this wall
Mhm.
because I move around when I sing. I don't just stand there and sing. Plus, I have the trio, but that's beside the point. I'm not making excuses.
Mhm.
But
It is
it was
different.
terrible. And I said, and I heard the delay. See, I heard it.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I told her nice. I said, would you please take that down? That's how
Mhm.
bad it was. It was really bad.
Mhm.
So once you hear yourself back, it's
Mhm.
tough on Zoom. It really is.
Oof. Oof.
I mean,
Hearing yourself is, for me, hearing myself is one of the toughest parts of this
yeah,
whole
it's tough
experience.
because when you're singing, sometimes you don't hear actually what you're doing. Well,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not listening. It's not that I don't listen. It's that I'm so busy doing things on stage or listening,
Same here.
like that. And then when you run it back, it's like, oh my God, it's a good thing I was
Seriously.
live and they'll forget it. I'm serious. I'm serious.
Seriously.
It's
I
true.
hear you. I'm with you 1000%. I have not started a practice of recording myself and then hearing myself to know, okay, this is where I'm flat, this is where I need to, I need more breath control or whatever the thing is, my tone, my pitch, all of the things. And I really did learn such a big lesson recently. I did that show with Bob, which I love so much, and I would do it all over again. It was absolutely so fun, fantastic. But I recorded it on my phone, and I've been watching it and listening to it on my phone, and I think, wow, I have a lot of learning. I have a lot of learning to do. I got a lot of listening.
Lot of learning
I got a
to
lot
do.
of listening and learning to do. I got a lot to do.
That was good for you, though.
Yeah.
First of all, it was live.
Yes.
Anything is better live. I don't care, even if you're flat, it doesn't make a difference. When you're live, they'll forget that flat, but you're still live, and there is no delay, and that's the problem. Because certain people sing different ways. I sing behind the beat. I wait and hear the chord and then come in on it. I don't sing ahead, and other people sing on or a little bit ahead. I don't. So I kind of wait for them to play the chord, and I'll catch up. But they don't. They're waiting for me, so they know where I'm at. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's horrible. But you do what you got to do when you have to do it. And I heard some of that live show you did. You sounded good.
Oh,
I mean, I have a stereo earphones, so I listen to it that way, as opposed to just on the computer speakers or something like that. But it was good for you to do that.
Yeah, it's cutting your teeth, right? Isn't that the expression?
And it's good for your soul because you got through it.
Yes,
it is cutting your teeth.
I did feel first of all, so grateful to Bob. He was so kind, so supportive, so patient. Because with my crazy work schedule, I mean, I wish we would have been able to meet a lot more than we did. And with the Zoom practicing and meeting in person wasn't easy. But I would say that, I felt real proud after. I really did. I sang 18 songs. I didn't use a single lyric sheet. I sang them from my heart. I expressed the story, I think. I told the stories. And if I was flat, I was flat. That's life.
No, you sounded pretty good. And again, if you were, unless someone recorded it, they wouldn't remember that. Honestly. When I heard, I've been sitting in with this blues club and the blues friend of mine. And I don't have any breath anymore. I haven't sung in like 12 years, like worked. And I know, and plus they're playing something I'm not used to. It's a different drum beat, so to speak. And it's loud, I'm not set up sound wise like I would like. So I'm screaming away, I mean, really. But the people didn't know the difference. It was, it was like blue suede shoes, man, get everybody singing and all that stuff. And I really don't know how I sounded. I think I sounded shitty, but I don't know. But it was okay. They had a good time. The band had a good time. I had a good time, and that's the way it was. But it's a good thing. Yeah. It's a good thing I didn't have to work all night because I think I'd have fainted other than that. I walked off going, terrible.
Yeah, I wanted to show you the very first time that I ever sung for a recital in one of Gwen's classes. The very first recital, I sang with Ed Leonard. This is Ed Leonard, and we were at Davenport's, and we sang "I'm Confessing."
Really? That I love you. I'm confessing that I love you. Yes. Good song.
Is that a great song?
Oh, it's a great song.
Yeah, there I am, 2010 me.
You look beautiful. You look beautiful there. He looks old.
Thanks.
Who is he now? What does he do? Just sing?
He's one of the singers, one of our dear singing
Okay.
friends.
Does he sing like jazz all the time or no? Because
Oh, he
that's a
sings
jazz
all
song.
kinds of things. He sings so many different genres. He's really quite wonderful.
Oh, that's a great song.
Mm-hmm.
I
Isn't it though?
love you. Ba, ba, ba. Yes. I'll give you the arrangement.
Yeah, please.
Well, Bob's having a Zoom tomorrow night. Are you going to be there? No, you're going somewhere.
Well, I am a little busy tomorrow for his show part, but I'm going to try to jump on and help him for his open mic part.
Okay, I might come in tomorrow night, depending. We're trying to gather stuff together here for that
Okay.
show, our
Mhm.
rocks and
Mhm.
things. And if I don't tell them why, I'll be back when we're done with this thing, which is next week.
For sure.
And let me think if there's a closing question other than who do you like the best?
That's hilarious.
Let me
That's so
think.
funny.
Okay, so the question is, would you like to continue
Mm.
doing shows
Oh
singing?
goodness. Mm.
Really? I mean, not necessarily for a living, because
Such a good
you know,
question. Yeah.
you know,
And I can't quit my day job.
let's do
I
shows or gigs. Let's say gigs.
Yeah. I would say that it is my what I learned with this show with Bob is that I really enjoy connecting with people in that way. I love it. I love it very much. But I also realize all the enormous amount of work it takes to do it in a way that you feel really proud. I mean, really proud. I feel proud that I got through it. Feel proud that I sang all these songs without a lyric sheet, but I could go to another level. I could be proud that I that I also feel like I sounded great too. And I know that that's complex. Whenever we hear ourselves, we don't hear what people hear. I've heard that, and I have to get used to hearing my own voice to befriend. Like it's a befriending process that I have to go through. I think to finally get to this place where I feel not just proud of being able to sing a song, but like really sing it beautifully. So I think, yeah, it just taught me how much work it takes, and I have to just reflect on whether I have that kind of time. But
It's good to listen to tapes and stuff, because you will get, not necessarily if you're singing flat or not, but you will get an idea of what you think you want to change or do differently
yeah,
next
that's
time.
right. That's right.
And you will, because I go back on some of my stuff and I'm still doing the same thing. I really am, but it works for me. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
On the other hand, I've tried songs like one time I tried what's the thing from Phantom that he sings, Music of the Night. I thought, well, it's a man's song, but I have a low voice, so I thought, let me try and sing it. Well, I didn't need a tape to know it really sucked. It really did. It was terrible. The music of the night, it was horrible. But it was terrible. And I said, I'm not going to do it again. That was a learning tool. We were in Gentry or I don't know, somewhere. And it didn't matter at that point what it was, but I thought, that's it. I ain't doing it no more. And you'll figure that out. See, there are certain songs people can't sing well.
That's right. That's right.
And some are suited for
Just
people
for you.
like
That's
your
right.
Spanish stuff. It's great. It really is. And if somebody doesn't know Spanish like me, you tell the story first and then go ahead and sing it. And it's beautiful. The Latin. I love Latin. So you will find that out. And I guarantee you'll do something else with either Sammy, Mark.
Well, I am actually. I'm
Bob.
going to do something with Sammy soon. Actually.
See, I know it.
November 20th. I'm actually going to do something with Sammy on November 20th with Christina Marinescu. Christina
really?
and I are doing a show
Miss
together.
Golden Earrings?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'll be good for you,
Yeah.
and is she
Yeah.
just playing? Does she have anybody else with her?
Bill. Yeah. Bill is going to
And
play
no
also.
drums, no drums.
I don't think so. No.
Too bad. You need to be working with drums with that Spanish stuff.
Mm.
I'll be your manager. I'll be your manager. Listen, you need this girl. She sings Spanish and she's really good. Here's what she needs: $1,000 a day.
Okay, there we
and she'll give
go.
your wife pills. That's
She can write prescriptions too.
yeah.
Full service.
Need a little Xanax there? Okay.
She'll relax you in so many ways.
So, okay, one other question. Are you going to be doctoring till you die, or are you going to retire?
I think probably in the next 5 to 8 years I'll be retiring.
Okay. And then you can then you can really focus on the singing.
Yes, that's true. Focus
really
on the
can.
music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Focus on writing or the singing.
And you're learning to play the piano. Oh my God, you're so fucking talented. I can't stand it. I mean, really, kids.
If you heard me playing the piano, you would not be impressed. But
you do chords. You're doing
a
chords.
a little bit.
She's fucking talented, and she's a good doc, and she's a great singer. So this is my new friend, Sonia Oyola.
And you're my new friend, Marna.
The last lady of sleaze.
Last lady of sleaze.
Well, it's been a pleasure. It really has. Again, I'm looking at you, but I don't know how the camera looks. Let's see. All right, everybody. I can't do it. She is one of the nicest people around. I have to tell you, nicest and caring. And if you need somebody to come to your house to burp you or something, that's her. Or something, a little sex check, she'll do it, Sonia, she's probably dying there. Are my kids listening to this? All right. So I just want to thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome. What a pleasure.
It was fun.
I knew I was going to laugh the whole time, and boy, did I need it. Laughter is my other medicine.
Wait, you got your tongue depressor? Yeah. I'm going to sign off, and everybody, I'm going to, I'm telling you, I'm going to put this up like either tonight or tomorrow, maybe. Okay. And it'll be up on Facebook, on a bunch of places, and I'm going to post it. And anybody have any comments, comment under either place. I don't care. It's going to be on YouTube, my interview page, and my regular page. The whole thing will be up. And I love you, Sonia. And one of these days I'm coming home and we will spend a day together.
I would love that.
And if I happen to get a gig, you're coming in and singing.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. I'm going to come see you.
No, you're going to come in and sing, because my guys can play for you. Trust me.
Okay.
Really. She will come and sing, because that's what I do. I want the singers to come in. I do a show because everyone gets sick of me after 2 songs. So that's it, I'm serious. That. So I love you, Sonia Oyola.
I love you.
Say hi to your husband, Mr. Oyola. And we will see you on probably tomorrow night. I might stop in at Bobby's Zoom. And you take care. And I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, honey.
Thank you, Marna. This was so fun.
Bye-bye.
Bye, honey.